It's
Okay.
recording.
So we are live. So the first day that we met, we started with just a simple, compared to what we did the last time you saw me, simple. Probably the first time you saw me, this wasn't so simple. But what we did is we did one finger per fret. You remember this exercise where we did index, middle, ring, pinky,
Ugh.
and then every finger had its own fret. We started with the right hand just doing downstrokes. So if you let me demonstrate the exercise for you real quick, then we can do it together. So I'm going to model for your practice, basically, so that you can practice along to this, how I would do this. I'm going to set a metronome. If you want, I can share the screen just so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Where is Google? Sorry. One button. They changed how to share screen with web things, so I'm still learning the new shortcut. So metronome, I generally would say start somewhere between 50 and 60. Because we've done this before, I'm going to start a little on the faster side.
Okay.
But, a lot of students on their first lesson, they can only do like whole notes at 40 beats. So here's the metronome clicking. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of my fingers. So again, the right hand, all downstrokes the whole time. So each click, your right hand is going with the click. Left hand is index, middle, ring, pinky. Next string, index, middle, ring, pinky. We're trying to get each note with the click. Now it's your turn. Can you, right along with me, follow me, starting with your index finger, 1, 2, ready, go. Index, middle, ring, pinky, 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 index, middle, ring, pinky. So, any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay. So now the way that you can build on that is, I would say, say you practice this a few times, first time 60 beats. Based off how you just did it, I'd probably kick it up to about 72. The idea with the metronome, if you don't remember from the first time I showed you how to use the metronome, is you want to be about 70% accurate. So with that exercise, is if you're missing one of the notes on each string, either hitting it on beat or making a sound or getting the right finger there, then that's the appropriate tempo. If you're playing every one perfectly, it's too easy. You might as well be doing a song. So let's go one more time at 72 and see if you start making some mistakes. This time I want you to do it on your own and see if you can mimic what I just played for you and what we did together. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. So now that was too easy. I would say that was about 95%. I really only heard you miss one note that didn't identify with either the right note, the right finger, or the right fret, or playing it without stopping. It may have felt a little bit more challenging than that, but I would say accuracy-wise, based off of those points, you were at about 95%. So then I would kick up the metronome probably next time you practice to about 88. Try that, and then, I don't think you'd have mastery until you got to like 218. So I'd say this could easily last you, trying to work yourself. I wouldn't go more than 2, 3, 4, 5 beats at a time. Once you find that frustration point. Now, 70% for you might be a little bit more frustrating. You might want to say, hey, this time I'm going to shoot for 90%. Okay, once I don't get pissed off at 90%, let me do 80%. You're a little bit more on my side of this perfectionism spectrum, where I get frustrated pretty easy. I'm my own worst critic. So, and as a creative person, listening back to that, knowing that you're trying to set up a studio and listen to yourself, I think that process is, you'll experience what I did. It helped me with that because I had to learn to just let a lot of that go. But what I'm trying to do is trying to give you a visual aid to say, hey, this is good enough. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So the next thing that we did is we learned to go backwards. And, you mentioned having kids. If you remember trying to learn to walk forwards, then trying to learn to walk backwards, it takes a little while. So going backwards is even harder. So once you feel pretty comfortable going forwards, then we could start going backwards. I'm going to put that metronome, I'm going to set it to 66 for this while we start going backwards. So just to review what exactly going backwards is, the technical term is descending. This is a chromatic scale. We're just going up in half steps and down in half steps, playing all the sharps and the flats, most of them at least. So you'd have to play a couple open strings to have a complete chromatic scale, but for right now, just focus on the frets. So watch me, then we'll do it together, then you'll do it by yourself. 1, 2, ready, go. So I go pinky ring, middle index, 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 pinky ring, middle index. Now, let's do it together. Follow me, starting with your pinky on the 4th fret. 1, 2, ready, go. Pinky ring, middle, index, 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 pinky ring, middle, index. So now, one time all by yourself, same thing you just did together, just make sure that you can do it without me, please. One little thing just to modify, actually, before you do that. Remember the thumb, when the thumb is up here, it's not supporting the fingers. Remember, the idea, what we're looking for is we're looking for a good pinch. I'm trying to give you a good angle here. An index finger wants to have a good arch. Your thumb is going to be arching, then you're moving that to your fingers. And so the thumb is right behind. If you can't move your thumb, I would suggest leaving your thumbs right between your 2nd and your 3rd fret. This would be the classical method. That way you're in position for all your fingers. If you want to play like Jimi Hendrix, then move your thumb. Okay? The one thing though, it's not a golf club, it's not a softball bat, it's not a lot of people that are used to like holding something where they're swing, will use the thumbs out like this or over just because it's kind of feels like half of a sporting device or club or I think you get the point. So thumb pinches behind. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay.
If I watched my fingers, I was making mistakes.
Well, good. And honestly, I would say I would have graded that at about 90% accuracy. So, yes, you were making more mistakes, but still not 70%. Just think about if, we're conditioning your muscles for any type of, therapy, rehabilitation, sports, whatever. You mentioned some of your partner's stuff. I'm sure she's had to do some rehabilitation, trying to get muscles moving and things like that again. So kind of treat your fingers just like that, is that you're basically trying to just create connections with your brain and your fingers, and you're using the instrument. Then you get your ear involved, and then you get all the full benefits physically and auditory, in the creative process. So, questions so far? Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do to modify this is we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to focus a little bit more on the right hand. So far, the right hand has been doing downstrokes. The idea is that in the same speed that you can play a downstroke, you can play twice as fast by adding an upstroke. Now I'm playing twice as fast, but I'm not moving any faster. I'm just moving economically. Now, in order to add your left hand would have to move twice as fast. So don't worry about getting twice as fast with your left hand. In fact, I would probably recommend slowing this down. I'm going to show you that I'm going to start this metronome. All right, one more time, Google. So can you see? All right, so I'm going to set the metronome to 56 now. So now we are going to go up and down the scale, ascending and descending, alternating down and up strokes. So watch me, we'll do it together, then you'll do it by yourself. 1, 2, ready, go. So we go down, up, 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 going backwards, down, up, 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 down, up. So now let's do the same thing together, ascending and descending with alternate picking. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, up, 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 going backwards, down, up, 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 down, up. Okay. So now, all by yourself, same thing we just did, alternating your right and your left hand down and up, one finger per fret in your left hand. I think we have a good tempo.
I keep trying to use the pinky finger instead of the ring finger and trying to pinky finger twice.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
Well, remember that the pinky and the ring, naturally, most people do not have independence of those two fingers. They usually work
I'm
together.
talking these two, the middle two.
Oh, the middle and the ring?
Yeah.
They're the next two. Very often, usually, most people that I see the first time with any instrument usually can only do this. Then these three fingers move all together. It's really getting all these three to move together by themselves. That's part of the process of doing these exercises, to develop fine motor skills instead of gross motor skills. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Should I turn down the intensity a little bit?
No.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
That's down.
Good. So we are getting closer to 70%. I would say 85% on that one. So technically, still a little bit too easy for a good exercise. But I heard you getting frustrated. So, it looks like that 90% is your comfort zone. So let's try at least one more. And so this is going to now change a little bit of what we're doing. This one is like lifting weights for your fingers. A quick demonstration of the technique. Eventually we'll get into like leads where you can do different string bends or little riffs, where you can do bending. But for right now, we're just going to repeat the same exercise we did and just add a bend. You're going to hold the note for one click, then you're going to push down on the next click. Hold, push, hold, push. So this is the movement we're doing. The first three strings you're going to push down. When we get to the G, you're going to start pushing up. The reason being is when you get even down here, if you push down here, you pull off the fret, and this just creates noise. So that's what we want to avoid. The other benefit is that we go in two different directions, we work two different muscles. So now I'm going to set the metronome nice and slow. Let's take it down to like 50 beats. And we're going to do half notes. The first note, the first click is your hold. The second click is your bend. So you're going to go hold, bend, hold, bend, hold, bend, hold, bend. Next one, hold, bend, 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 hold, bend. Now we start pushing up at the G string. Hold for one click, push up on the next one, hold, bend. The pinky's the hardest. Even if you're just pushing your finger and it doesn't go all the way, just keep the muscles moving. You don't have to get it perfect. All you have to do is try. Each time you do it, you'll get a little bit better. So now once together, remember your thumb is your best friend here. So 1, 2, ready, go. Hold, bend, hold, bend, hold, bend, hold, bend. All right, next string, hold, bend, hold, bend, hold, bend. That's it. Next one, hold, bend. Keep going. Hold, bend. Next one, hold, bend. Good. Next one, hold, bend. That's it. Hold, bend. Keep going. Hold, push up. That's it. Middle finger, hold, push up. Good. Ring finger, hold, push up. That's it. Pinky, hold, push up. Next string, hold, push up. Next one, hold, push up, hold, push up. Pinky, hold, push up, hold, push up, hold, push up, hold, push up, hold, push up. Now, by yourself, the finger torture will be over after this. How about that?
So it's bringing back the memories of the exercises, but I was like, I forgot them all. I was like, that's not right.
Oh, it's all in there. Just look at it as you're remembering it. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, you made it. So, in wrapping things up, do you have any questions?
No.
You
And now,
sure?
yeah, that's because it's stuff we've gone over that I had forgotten that we had done.
Well, good. Well, again, it's just the process of remembering. So, the most important thing right now that each of these exercises is teaching you that these four fingers are each assigned their own frets. So, the muscle memory we were trying to create is that the index finger always plays the first fret. Now, we've done some other exercises since then that are the exception to this rule, but this is the first rule to establish before we get to the exception, reviewing those in future exercises. But for right now, try to reacquaint yourself. Index finger always plays the first fret. We're not just sliding up one finger. Middle finger always plays the second fret. The third fret always gets the ring finger. The pinky doesn't get to play the third, second, or first fret. It's always on the fourth fret. So one finger per fret. So as long as you keep that, then you can get your eyes off of your fingers. Then when we get to that book, you can focus on the book. And then, maybe hopefully your wife one day, you can play for her and serenade her and you can look at her while you're playing or something like that. So the other thing, most important, is the thumb. The thumb is pinching. Remember, if the thumb is over here, you're making your fingers do all the work. Look at your thumb as like your anchor. We were talking about doing some Jimmy Buffett songs. You have the anchor out at sea. If you don't have your anchor, your fingers are adrift. So they can fall anywhere. You have your anchor in place. You have more speed, you have more support, and you have more tone. So, think about your thumb as what's grounding you, and it's grounding you on the back of your guitar. Remember, if you don't want to move it, leave it between the second and the third. But, if you want to eventually get to like a Jimi Hendrix style, like where you're moving your fingers a lot, you want to have a movable thumb. The classical method is just to leave it in one place so that way you can just stay in one position and not have to worry about it. There is a benefit to that. So there's not just one way to approach this mountain. The most important thing about the metronome, just a couple of things to tie them up for your practice in your video here, is 70% accuracy. Today, I would not have called anything that we did worse than 85%. So you're about halfway to the frustration level of what the goal is for exercises. So when you set your metronome, today the slowest we did was 50 beats. The fastest I think we went to was 88 beats. Notice the trend. We start slower. We don't just go to 200 beats and keep trying to go as fast as we can. It's actually faster to get to that 200 if you start at 50 and just go up 2 beats at a time. So start slow, then go faster. And any questions in wrapping that up?
No.
Okay. So, and just for purposes of the video, if you decide to put this on YouTube, my number, everybody, is 240-997-9214. Call me for a free lesson.
No, I don't know. Once I actually can get down to playing a song or two, then I'll put that up there and plug you. But I'm like,
I'm just joking. Fortunately, I'm blessed at this moment. I have more than I can handle. I'm always trying to keep students coming in, just because I'm always starting and stopping students. But I was just joking. I mean, if you want to take the time and promote me on the internet, I have no issue with you posting this on the internet. Do I expect you to do that? Absolutely not. As far as I'm concerned, this is between you and us. I was just trying to be funny and leave you with something.
I'm like, why would I post your lesson?
Well, it's funny is I used to share studio space with somebody when smartphones used to come out, and he used to have them sign a waiver